Hey there, scrappy friends. This is Shannon here, and I am sharing a process video using the March Citrus Twist Life Crafted kit. It is the Weekender kit. I have already cut my pages down to size to fit in the Life Crafted album page protectors, and I'm going to show you how I put together this fun little spread. So I'm starting off with going through the die cuts and just kind of seeing where I want some things placed. I have also printed out the die cuts from the web. So this is actually a hybrid page, and that favorite place tag and hey there weekend tag are both from the web, and I have printed them off of the Citrus Twist website. Now this page will have some stamps, some add-on stamps, and it will also use those hybrid elements. So now that I've decided where I want those die cuts to go, I'm going to put them together quickly around my picture there. And you will see that come together. Now, I like to kind of place everything how I want it first before I get it stuck down. And as you can see, I have a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly where I want those on there and how I want them to end up on my page. And I think that I have finally made a decision. So we're putting those tags down and then I can move on. Now you'll see that I have all my labels there on the side, and those come in a nice sheet of paper in the monthly kits, and they're easy to cut apart to use, and for the interest of time in this video, I have already cut them apart so I don't have to worry about that. Now I'm carrying the pattern over to the other side there and just kind of figuring out exactly how much of the pattern I want to show on that side. And then I will get it stuck down and trim off the excess really quickly there. And then I am going to come back and I'm going to put those labels to use. So I'm going to show you a trick to cut the edges off those labels where the little indents. You take your hole punch and you just kind of fit it onto the hole punch, and it cuts those edges out perfectly. Now I'm going to take my labels and I want to use all the labels and all the colors to add some visual interest to this side of my spread. So I'm just kind of wiggling them in there underneath that piece of pattern paper, seeing how I want them laid out, trimming what needs to be trimmed off so they all fit under there. And I'm just going to quickly lay them out, see what kind of color order I want them in, and go from there. Now what I'm going to do, you'll see in a minute here, is I'm going to actually stamp sentiments on each of those labels. I'm going to use the stamp kit that comes in the monthly kit, and then I'm also going to use the add-on stamp. So I'm going to show you a few tips here for stamping on your page because I know it can be intimidating. So my first tip is when you get your stamps, take a white eraser and just prime them. Erase over the stamp and then wipe it off with your finger real quick. My second tip is never have your first stamped image be on the actual page itself. Use it on a scrap piece of paper, make sure you like the way it looks, and then stamp it on the page. And my third tip is to use a surface with a little bit of give when you're stamping. You'll see I have a little mat there. That is actually a paper piercing mat, so it's a little bit squishy, and it just makes for a nice, crisp image when you're stamping. So I'm just going through, seeing where I want all my sentiments, and then I am going to stamp them out. And I have not made you watch all of my stamped items because stamping can take some time and it's a little redundant. So you can see there that I've stamped out a lot of sentiments. I've used the 2 different stamp sets and gotten them all on there. I have started to adhere them down, and I am going to go ahead and do my very last label here and get it stuck down. You can see I've had all my practice stamps there, and it just makes such a nice image when you use that mat underneath your paper to do the stamping. All right, so now that we've got that stuck down, we need to trim off the bottom really quickly. And then we can keep on embellishing. So I've already used the die cuts, and now I'm going to look and see where I can add some chipboard embellishments. Oh, I'm just kidding. I was looking at that little notepad stamp to see if I might be able to use it for my journaling, trying to make it work on there, see if there was any more stamping that I wanted to do. So I'm going to place it on there, just kind of see how it looks, see if I like it, and I don't end up using it. I end up doing something else for my journaling. So I'm going to put that back and then move on. Sometimes your ideas work and sometimes they don't. So I'm looking at the chipboard now. Lots of great sentiments on this chipboard, and I'm going to see what I want to place where, kind of move it around my page, see what colors I like, and I'm going to go with that big half circle and put it on the side of my picture. And it kind of mimics the circle at the top, which will become a half circle. And now I'm looking at hearts, and I love that these come on a clear background. I can move it around my page, and I'm kind of going for a monochromatic look here, trying to match up the colors. So it's a really subtle hint of color with these hearts. And I go with another corally orange with that orange label on the other side of my page. And that is that. And you'll see in this next slide that I have added my journaling and another little tag, and that is done.